G'day brew tubers. Sunday afternoon, don't normally brew but the opportunity come up, so let's get to it. Righto, today we're doing American Pale Ale. I do use rainwater as the base water profile, so I'm adding some calcium chloride and gypsum to fill out the mineral profile. We're using Gladfield's American Ale Malt, and we're going to combine that with some dark crystal for colour. I've been playing around with the crush the last few brews. My efficiency was down a bit, so I've reduced the gap on the grain mill, and I crushed the grain slowly. I got back up to 90% mash efficiency the last brew. We'll see how this one goes. Go in. So there we are, the mash is underway. It's going to be a 63 degree mash with a 75 degree mash out for 10 minutes. Okay, we're using Mosaic hop pellets. I have to say I absolutely love this hop. Mosaic, Simcoe and Galaxy are certainly in the top three. This beer is going to be, well, it's a modification of a smash, but we're only going to be using Mosaic hops. So what is this brew? This is a pale ale, another one. I do happen to really quite like the style, American Pale Ale. 5.2 kilo of Gladfield's American Pale Malt, 100 grams of Gladfield's dark crystal, and then I'm pretty much using Mosaic as the hops. It was going to be a smash beer, but I wanted a little darker. The last couple of beers have been smash beers, and I'll get onto that in a second. I have to admit, I've been brewing for some time now in the Grainfather. Most of the brews were 3, 4, geez, it might have been the odd one with 5 malts, probably 2, 3 different hops, and I wasn't, I mean, they were good beers, but I just wasn't 100% happy. And I'm so glad I made a change. I made 2 changes. The first was I started just doing a couple of smash beers. Straight pale, I did a pale Simcoe, pale malt Galaxy. Today will be the pale malt Mosaic. I'll chuck in that little bit of crystal for colour. I did do just a slight alteration to my last beer as well. I've really started to get to know the malts. I've really started to get to know the hops, and if I can make any recommendation to anyone who hasn't gone down that smash path, is to definitely do it. Don't necessarily stay there, but just go and learn the malts and learn the hops, and I'm just so glad I did, because it's made a real difference to the kind of beers I'm brewing. The other one is starters. I have just went to start using a litre starter for all my beers. This one, I just happen to have some Mangrove Jack American Ale yeast, or East Coast Ale in the yeast. Happened in the fridge. This BrewDay was, as I said, was a bit of a spur of the moment thing, so I'm going to use that today. But learning the pails with limited ingredients using a starter or knowing more about yeast. The last 5 beers I've produced would have to be the best 5 that we've done. Really quite happy with them. The other thing that I've done is look at carbonation. I've upped the carb in the beers as well, and yeah, couldn't be happier, to be honest. Alright, so I'm just going to take a sample to check on the pH. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what, 26 minutes to go in the mash. She's looking pretty clear already, likely to clear up even further. I've also found a use for the old shot glasses. Haven't been using these since I was a young buck. That'll be a pH reading. I did add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of citric acid to the mash water with the brew salt, so I reckon this will be pretty good, but let's give it a check. 5.2 to 5.3, I'm reasonably happy with that. Rightio, so we are 69 degrees, ramping to 75 for the mash out. Righto, it's the end of the mash. Really clear wort. To admit, that little bit there, if anyone's come up with an idea, when you lift out that pipe and the water just spills all over the pump cover, if you got an idea how to deal with that, please let us know. I finished the sparge. I set my recipes at 25 litres. I figure if we're going to go through the whole brew process, why brew 20? So I brew 25 litres, and I've got a couple of different size kegs. I'll have to put up another video on my kegerator system. But in essence, you got 19 litres in a corny keg. I've got a couple of 6 litre torpedo kegs, which pretty much means I can fill those 2 from a 25 litre batch. Alternatively, I've got a couple of 9.5 litre kegs as well. So it just really depends on what's clean and what I have on hand. That's code for pay attention, so I don't get a boil over. Righto. Boil reached. What I've also found moving to pales, or focusing on my new approach with pales, is I don't put in early bittering charge. This is my schedule over here. You can't see it. I basically put a 5-minute addition and a flame out or whirlpool addition. That's it. So I find I probably whirlpool at 85 to 90 degrees. Pardon me. So I got 30 grams at 5 minutes and 70 grams for a 15-minute whirlpool. And I've been following that schedule from last pails, and you get a lot of flavour, you get plenty of bitterness, there's no doubt about that. I mean, from that whirlpool, even at 85 or 90 degrees, you're still going to be getting IBU from that period, so that's what I've gone to. Pretty impressed with the outcome. This is smoking up a storm. We'll see you when we get to that edition. Just going for that pre-boil gravity. I always check this, I have to say. $10.46. $10.42 according to Brewfather. Now, having said that, the pre-boil gravity of 30, I'd probably say 30.5 litres, to be honest. It's just up a touch. We're talking a mash efficiency of, I think at the start of this video I was talking about a mash efficiency of 90%. That was not right. 80%. 80%'s the number of I've been charging towards. 81.12. I did mash at, as you saw, at 63, so the estimate final gravity is 008. Which is possibly a bit dry. To some people it would be a bit dry. 008 for me for a pale, hoppy pale, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't mind it being a touch on the dry side. Righto, that's the 15-minute edition, which is only yeast, nutrient and well flock. Right, that's the 5-minute. Alright, that's 0 minutes. Turn the counterflow chiller on. Give that a few minutes and then come back with the whirlpool. Righto, we just starting the transfer, so counterflow chiller's on, adjusting the water flow with adjustable flow tap on the garden hose, pulling out at 17 degrees through the Grainfather water meter. Got good flow, and that's something I've noticed when you whirlpool with the whirlpool attachment. So I checked, what's that, 100 grams, I mean that's not extreme, but nonetheless, 100 grams straight into the boil, 30 in the 5 minutes ago, and then 70 in the hop stand. With the whirlpool, when you see at the end, actually the hops form a pretty defined cone at the bottom of the Grainfather, and the flow rate is actually pretty good. So hopefully it'll be the same for this brew. Yes, it was 10.46. I reckon that is, geez, I reckon that's 10.50 from the hydrometer. I'll have to use the torch to get this footage, but when that was even in a more tight ball prior to it getting down this low, but you see how that those hops are certainly the whirlpool's done its job. I have tilted the Grainfather towards the filter to try and maximise the amount of wort that I pull from it. We'll see how much that is. Righto, this is the yeast, Mangroves Jack West Coast M44. I've used this a few times. What can I say? I've liked it. I'd probably prefer if it got going a little quicker, but it's pretty clean, and I've found it, to be honest, a good thing to have in the fridge, just in case, as I was describing earlier, I've gone to more of your yeast starter route. But if the opportunity comes up, if you've got some of this in the fridge, it's pretty helpful. So we'll just go the sprinkle on top option this time. Righto, that's the end of brew day. I'm currently cleaning the Grainfather, the job we all love the most. I will give you more of a rundown on my brew shed. Another video. This is the trusty fermentation chamber. Old beer fridge from way back. It's been passed around the brothers for various bits and bobs over the years. It's now the fermentation chamber. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please click on like. We'd love you to subscribe. We've only just got underway. I hope you've learned something. Really looking forward to showing you more stuff that we're up to. I will do a walkthrough of the whole brew area at my place, the different things that I've done to make the brew process easier. But otherwise, we'll catch you next time.